Hello, fellow Earthborn. This is SilentSigns from I Dream of Indie. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any reviews or previews. Today we are taking a look at Woodsalt, a game that comes to us from developer and publisher Team Woodsalt. I played this game on Steam. It is also set to come out on the Nintendo Switch, though I don't have a precise release date at the time of this review. I also don't have a price at the time of this review, unfortunately. But let's talk about what Woodsalt is all about. Woodsalt is very story-heavy and story-driven. It is an adventure game where you are playing as a character called MC. He has been brought back to waking from cryogenic sleep on a planet called Nu-Terra. This is 1,000 years after Earth itself has been evacuated due to the threat of some sort of creatures that were attacking and some natural disasters. Once he awakes, he reunites with his sister G, who used to be his younger sister, but now she's his older sister because he was asleep longer than she was. It's complicated. And from there, he finds out all about the plan to get back to Earth when that is possible, meets a whole cast of really interesting characters, and realizes that waking up from cryogenic sleep doesn't come without some consequences. The primary question that you are trying to answer in Woodsalt is, should we go back to Earth now that we've left it, or should we leave that in the past and move on with our future on Nu-Terra? Gameplay-wise, you are doing one of two things in Woodsalt. You are either free-roaming and exploring the environments, or you are interacting with characters and making decisions from a dialogue tree. These decisions you make do impact what happens in the story, and there are multiple endings and plenty of side plots along the way as well. This is a great game for almost anyone who just wants to play a game for the story and for the choices. There's not a whole lot of action by way of gameplay, but there is a lot of action built into the story itself. After you've had your fill of roaming around Nu-Terra, exploring the different areas, and interacting with characters to advance their side plots, and you're ready to advance the story itself, all you have to do is return to MC's sister's apartment, where you can sleep it off, wake up the next day to whatever the heck's going to happen next. Because the gameplay is so simplistic in that you're really just interacting with characters, using the left stick to navigate around the world, and making dialogue choices, there's really not a whole lot to critique when it comes to gameplay. So what we really have to focus on is, was the story engaging? Did it keep my attention? Did I want to keep playing? And did I want to see other endings after completing one run? And to all of those questions, I have to give Woodsalt a resounding yes. It did hold my attention. I wanted to keep playing and see what was going to happen. I wanted to see where MC was going to go, who he was going to meet, and whether those characters were in support of returning back to Earth when that became a possibility, or if they were plotting something deeper and darker than even I could have imagined. I loved having the ability to choose who I wanted to build a relationship with, who I wanted to advance plot points with, and the attitude of my character as a whole. To me, this was a story I haven't heard before, which is saying something in 2021 when I feel like so many stories have already been told. Okay, so we know about the gameplay. We know about the intriguing story. How does Woodsalt look? Well, it kind of looks like you put a Nintendo Mii into a old school RPG. The characters have these big heads and tiny bodies, and it kind of threw me for a loop at first. I didn't know what to expect as a game looking at the graphics, but I'm so glad that I didn't judge a book by its cover. I actually really enjoyed the variety of environments that you could travel through. I also really liked the little illustrated versions of the characters that you could find on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen next to the dialogue. I thought that those imaginings helped give each character a little more personality and life. There were also some very strangely cinematic scenes in this game that seemed to come out of absolutely nowhere, and I lived for those moments, and I kept hoping for them to happen again because they were just so interesting and exciting. I don't want to go into too much more detail because you really need to play this one for yourself, and I don't want to spoil anything. The soundtrack for Woodsalt was fairly limited. There's really just a few songs that play pretty much throughout the entire game. A lot of it is either acoustic guitar or sort of ambient sounds. Nothing too intrusive, nothing that was annoying. It just was a little bit repetitive, but at the same time, it shouldn't be distracting because the primary focus of this game is that story that we were talking about. I didn't need music to pump me up when I was already engrossed and invested in what was going to happen to the citizens of Nu-Terra. It didn't actually take me an incredibly long time to get through a single playthrough of Woodsalt. I think maybe it took about 4 hours to reach one of the endings, but you best believe that I want to go back and find out what else can happen. I'm not sure, honestly, if I got a good or a bad ending because it's definitely subjective. There are certainly some things I wish I could have prevented, but I don't know what decisions I will need to make to fix that. If you're looking for a game with an intriguing plotline and decisions that actually do impact the outcome, this is a great choice for you. The biggest compliment I can give a game is the fact that I want to go back in and play it again, and I just finished playing it, so I feel like that tells you everything you need to know. There is one more question that I have though. I still don't know what Woodsalt has to do with the game. I don't understand the title. Not that that makes any difference to anyone. Inquiring minds want to know. Will you be visiting Nu-Terra? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Also check out the description box for links to our Discord if you'd like to chat, as well as our merchandise, our memberships, and our coffee page if you'd like to support us further. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.